So it'll be good to have, that opportunity for everyone, because this would be a much more smaller group. So it'd be good to have everyone with cameras on or something like that, if also we do this. Hey, how's everybody going? How's everyone going? How's everyone today? Let's see here. Mr. Tony, can you hear me still?
Yeah, you just
Oh, there we go. Yeah. But welcome, Mr. Tony.
One thing I want to do, if you guys can kind of, I'm sure you already have out pens and paper, but some notes that I want to kind of go over. And tonight is kind of going to be almost kind of like just like a starter session, so that we get, everybody on the same page, so that when we're moving forward, we're all looking at and doing the same thing. Now, we're gonna need to have a paper trading account, and I'm assuming that you all do, but we may not all have the same one. Now, I have a TD Ameritrade, you guys kind of saw last week, that I'm trying to still become familiar with. And it would be great if you guys could get a TD Ameritrade account. But you don't have to have one. If you want to get something different, if the particular trading platform that you use right now offers a paper trading option, then, of course, use that. Heck, you can use a notepad and a piece of paper. You can do that as well, but it would probably be easier for tracking and for you to be able to, go through the exercises if you do have a paper trading account. And what the whole process is that I want you guys to go through here tonight, I just made some notes. I'm going to be looking down at my notes here tonight, is that I really want there to be a mindset shift. Okay. So we're going to be going through a whole mental approach when it comes to trading. And like I was talking about the other day, techniques, your techniques, maybe that's 20% of the trade, another 5% luck, and the other 75% is how we approach these trades and our mindset, what we, our expectations when we place trades, and how we perceive ourselves as being professional traders too. We'll get into that. We'll touch upon that as well. So when I created the beta course and we went through that was to give you guys the information. Okay. And that information, it was pretty fast, at least from the feedback that I got and from the time it took to put together, 15 hours. That was a vast amount of information. But what we're going to do right now, or what we're going to attempt to do over whatever time period it takes us to do it, is to get you guys into a transformation mode where you actually do become, carefree, and you think of your trades as being effortless. Okay, there's no conflict in your mind when you guys are placing trades, and I think that's where you want to get to as a trader. You don't want to have, any conflicting ideas going in. When you see a trade, you place the trade. Okay. So what we are going to do is one, set up a paper trading account, preferably with TD Ameritrade. If not, whoever your service is, your platform services that offers you that. Okay. And then we're going to go through a series of exercises. And again, so the real key to this thing is the knowledge, the execution. Okay. You guys have the knowledge, but I think we all would agree that we're still kind of young in that knowledge. I mean, I think we just finished the course up in November sometime. So you probably have had some time to go through and look at the different setups, the different techniques and methodologies that we went through over the course of that time period, and review it, and for some of you implement it. But what I want to submit to you guys here over this, period of time that we work together to try and get to that transformative state, is that maybe you don't trade live anymore, or at least for a while. Okay. And that we do the majority of our trading on the paper trading platform. Reason being, I want to take you out of that mindset, that thought process that you currently have when it comes to trading right now. And I think the majority of you probably, you're more obsessed about the result and about the money, right? It's the only reason why we're trading. We want the money, right? So, what I'm saying to you guys is, if we can just forget about the money for a minute and we can learn about the process, then you'll get all the money that you want, because your process, your skill set is going to be such that when you're placing your trades, you're going to get that result that you want. But you're not going to be so obsessed about, this has got to be the winning trade. I got to make money on this trade. I got to pay my gas bill tonight. I want to get far, far away from that, because that puts pressure in it, and it keeps you from getting to that other side, to that stage where, when I'm placing trades, I just place the trade because, I don't even know why. To be honest with you, I just see it and I just place the trade. The setup is there. I just put the trade in. I think I told you guys the other day, I got stopped out 6 times. I had 2 that share price is we're going to work on and also I'm going to have Patrick remind me of this before I forget. I got to say it while I'm thinking about it, where when I'm placing trades, I just place the trade because, I don't even know why. To be honest with you, I just see it and I just place the trade. The setup is there. I just put the trade in. I think I told you guys the other day, I got stopped out 6 times. I had 2 winning trades, but I got stopped out 6 times. That means I was wrong 6 times. I was right 2 times, but I had a green day. And that's what it's about. It's about managing your risk. That's really, really important too. And predetermining all of your risk and your rewards. What we're going to do through this process is we're going to work on and also I'm going to have Patrick remind me of this before I forget. I got to say it while I'm thinking about it. I sent over a slide. If we can maybe have that slide ready for next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and then we'll put that into the Facebook, or you know what? Maybe we'll put it into the course, because I think it needs to be in the course. Okay. But if the people are not in the accelerator, they're really not going to realize.
They wouldn't even notice or even know how to use it.
Yeah, how to perceive it anyway. Yeah. But why don't we put it into the course?
All right.
That'll make it a little easier for the studio version too, when we record it, as we're recording it that way too. And in that particular slide, I'm going to give you all of your numbers, the numbers that were given to me. Okay, if I trade 100 shares times 10 cents, or 100 shares times 15 cents, or 20 cents, or 200 shares, or 800 shares times 10 cents. I want to have that predetermined number based upon what the share price is and what, excuse me, the movement in that share price is, so that I'll know, well, if I'm trading 600 shares and I lose, 30 cents, what that number is. And if that number is beyond what I'm willing to lose per trade, then I need to make it either an adjustment. Either I can go 25 cents or 20 cents, where I go to 600, I go maybe 500 or 400 shares. So I'm going to give you that little sliding scale, so you guys can use that as your cheat sheet as well. And I want you guys to use that again in your paper trading, because if we can get it down in the paper trading side, okay, if we can get it down there where you're trading effortlessly, carefree, and you don't really have any conflict without conflict, then you can transfer it over to the money side. Now, I know that it doesn't sound as fun, but here's the thing. Again, once you get the skill set down, it won't matter. It will not matter once you make that transformation over. I talk about a lot of times being a mechanical trader. Well, that's really the first stage. The mechanical side is when you have a rigid criteria, okay, that you go by. Okay, if I'm long or short 300 shares, then I can only on a $50 stock, then I'm only willing to lose $50. Okay, then that's it. And there's no deviating away from it. We have to stick with that. Okay. So we'll go through that. We'll go through that particular process. So journaling is going to be big too. Okay, we're going to have to do, it's going to be a journaling process that we're going to go through. I want you guys to get used to and accustomed to putting in your stops, not necessarily in the trade, but putting it in your book, in your journal, okay? Writing down your trades, taking notes on your trades, because as you're able to go through the series of exercises, you will become more familiar with the type of trade that you want to create. Okay. So, and again, there's a lot of things that I gave you guys, a lot of setups and techniques. For example, we talked about, our edges, right? And our edges being the moving averages, the 8, the 20, the 200, okay? And how we trade those, right? And if you guys need refreshers, go back and get some refreshers out of there, okay? The 3, 5, and 8 candles. You guys are probably seeing a lot of that occurring. You guys are probably counting more candles now than you probably ever counted in your life, okay? You guys are seeing those and you're counting them, right? Okay, and you go, oh my God, that was 5 candle, that was a fine 5 candle swing right there, halts, okay? Seeing a lot of halts, seeing halts off the 200, off the moving averages, right? So what I'm going to do is, we're going to go through all these different setups that we have, and then we're going to try to determine which ones are going to be the ones that we're going to pick, and we're going to use those. And eventually I want to go through each and every one of them. Okay, because I got asked the other day, I was in one of the rooms and I got asked the other day, what type of trader are you? And I was telling them, I'm really kind of like I'm not really a mechanical trader, because I've kind of gotten beyond being a mechanical trader. I'm more of a subjective trader, which means I've taken all of the processes that I've given you guys and I'm able to trade them all, and I'm able to trade them all pretty effortlessly. I really don't think about it, because I've just been doing it for years and years and years. But I want to get you guys to that point. I want to try to make your learning curve a lot smaller than mine was. Mine was very long. I had a very long learning curve, but I got it. Okay. But initially I want to just make you mechanical traders. So what I'm thinking is, if I can get you guys on your setups, and we can say, for example, I'll say, okay, so Kenneth, we're going to do 3 setups for you. Okay. And we're going to work these particular 3 setups, and we're going to do 20 trades using just these 3 setups. And we're going to determine the number of shares, or the number of, say you trade options. How many option contracts do you typically trade? We're going to use that number. And we're going to say, okay, well, then over the next week or 2 weeks or whatever it takes for you to trade 20 trades, we're going to do it on paper, okay? And you're going to figure out the trade, when the setup came, okay? I took the trade, I put in my stop, okay? And when that stop got put in, either I got taken out or it moved up. And then I started to manage my trade, okay? Because I had a predetermined number that I figured. I said, I want to make, $100, okay? So when that $100 came, did I have profit came? Did I have the discipline to take the trade out at that particular time? To take my profits and be satisfied with that. So what I'm trying to do is, it's almost like when I coached my kids in baseball. I took zip ties. I think I was telling Patrick, I took zip ties and I tied them to the back to the screen there up against the fence. And I just told the kids, I just need you to take the ball, and when you're pitching, just hit the glove, because I didn't have a bunch of catchers. I just want you to hit the glove. I want them to develop that repetitiveness. And the kids that could hit the glove with the ball, they became the pitchers, okay? Because they built that consistency up. Don't question, well, why are we doing this, Coach Tony, Coach Wilson? Well, I just want you just to do it. Don't worry about why we're doing it. But then at the end of the year, we became the champions. I had a football team turned into a baseball team. Anyway, long story. But the thing is, I just want to give you guys a series of events. It's almost like going from station to station in sports. And if you do it over and over enough, so that when you get into the game, when we move over to the money game, it'll be real easy. A lot of times you hear a lot of these teams say the practices are so hard. We were waiting for the game to come because the game was going to be easier than our practices. They were so tough. So that's basically what I want to occur here for you guys here. So one thing for sure, okay, we are going to definitely have, it's going to be kind of mandatory. I hate to say mandatory, but mandatory that we do have a paper trading account. It's going to be mandatory. You're going to need a journal, okay, because you're going to need to be able to write down all of your trades. You're going to have to be able to predetermine what your risks are going to be, both on the upside and on the downside, meaning if I get stopped out, I'm willing to get stopped out with a $50 loss, okay? Or in this particular trade, if it goes my way, I will take a $100 gain and be happy with it. That takes a lot. That takes a lot, because that thing might take off and run. And you say, well, I just took the $100 and I did exactly what I was supposed to do, okay? I rang the bell. At Pavlov's dog, I rang the bell, I got my reward or what have you, okay? And you just learn to do that. And once you learn to do that, then we can move on. But I want to be able to do that flawlessly so that we can move on to kind of intuitive trading, which is at the very, very end. But we'll go from mechanical. I want to get you guys right now to the mechanical side. Then we'll get to a subjective side. And then eventually we'll get to the intuitive side, which truly will be, I'm still working on getting to that level, by the way. So anyway, so the process of trading, I want you guys to become comfortable with the process that we're going to go through and the process of trading itself. A lot of people don't want to go through the process of trading, okay? They just want the desired result, which is the money, like I talked about earlier. But I got to say this to you guys. If we don't go through the process of trading and understanding what it truly feels like to be free when you're entering your trades, and to understand that, the results that happen, they happen randomly. We don't have any control. I've told you guys many times, I don't have a hotline to Warren Buffett and say, hey, I just bought 1,000 shares of Micron. Would you mind going in and buying a couple 100,000? I don't have that, okay? So I put the trade in based upon what the setups are that we have, okay? And I went back and I counted them. I think it's like 16 of them. Some may cross over, but I think it was either like 13 or 16, somewhere in that range that I counted. And I think I counted a couple of them twice, or I added them together or something. I don't know. Anyway, but as long as we understand that these things are happening random to us, okay, we put the trade in, it either works or it doesn't work, and that's no big deal, and we move on to our next trade. If I can get you guys to that point, it's going to be really, really a game changer for you guys. It's one thing to have to give you guys a loaded gun, but it's another thing to train you how to shoot it and which way to aim it, how to reload it, because just having the loaded gun, that can be dangerous, but I know also too that people are anxious. You guys are anxious to get on about the trading part and start earning income. I understand that part, but all I'm asking you guys is if you guys would be patient with me so that I can take you through this particular process so that you'll say, oh, you know what? I just know what to do, and I just do it all the time, and I do it effortlessly because I've kind of taken that mindset that I had where it was so, outcome based. What's the outcome? What's the outcome? This got to be the winning trade. It's got to be the winning trade. Where I realize I don't know if it's going to be a winning trade. I don't know if it's going to be a losing trade. I know it's going to be random. Now I know the edge is in my favor because I have these setups. Okay, my techniques, my methods that I go about entering trades, I'm doing it without making any mistakes. Okay, did I enter my trade at or near the 20, in the direction of the 20? Okay, did I catch a bottoming tail? Okay, off of a 200? Is this a 180? Is this tweezers? Okay, is this the breakout? Green candle, ignore it. Opening locations, okay? And I know, Iman, you sent me over Micron this morning on that Facebook, and all the time, and I do it effortlessly because I've kind of taken that mindset that I had where it was so, outcome based. What's the outcome? What's the outcome? This got to be the winning trade. It's got to be the winning trade. Where I realize I don't know if it's going to be a winning trade. I don't know if it's going to be a losing trade. I know it's going to be random. Now I know the edge is in my favor because I have these setups. Okay, my techniques, my methods that I go about entering trades, I'm doing it without making any mistakes. Okay, did I enter my trade at or near the 20, in the direction of the 20? Okay. Did I catch a bottoming tail? Okay, off of a 200? Is this a 180? Is this tweezers? Okay, is this the breakout? Green candle, ignore it. Opening locations, okay? And I know, Iman, you sent me over Micron this morning on that Facebook, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. What was my thought? You had it right? You had it right.
I did.
You had it right.
But I was not sure. So I missed that. I missed it.
Right. And the reason why you weren't sure is because
I have not practiced it yet.
You needed it to be a winning trade. You wanted it to be a winner, right? Right.
Yes.
You wanted it to be a winner, which is what we all wanted to be, but you weren't at that state mentally where you said, well, you know what, either it does what it's supposed to do or it doesn't, and no big deal, I move on to my next trade. You're not there yet, and most people aren't. Probably 90% of the traders out there that are trading retail, they're not. Professional traders are. One reason why, and I will plead guilty to it, is because when I was trading at that particular firm, when I left Schwab, I had literally an unlimited account, but $10 million trading account. So, it didn't really matter because, I could get whatever I want, as many shares as I want for the most part, because you're only able, when you're trading, to gather up so much before, the prices start moving on you anyway, when they see you, purchasing large numbers of shares. So I had no fear. First of all, it wasn't my money, okay, and I had a bunch of it. So I was like, let's go, and but I understand with you guys, it is your money, okay, and you do care, but you still want to go. So if we take the mindset from the paper trading side, where I think Schwab gives you, starts you off at like $100,000. And you know what? I think we're going to leave it at that. I know you can massage it up or down the number of dollars you have in the account, but I think we'll leave it at that. We'll figure that out. Okay, what we want to do in terms of, you know, the exact parameters that we're going to use. But I want you guys to feel like it's not a big deal, because when you switch over to the live side, when it's your cash, I want you to feel like it's not a big deal. Okay, because I got my rules in place. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do exactly what it says to do. And when I put in, when Kurt writes down, I'm only willing to lose $50 on a trade, no more than $300 today. And that's it. And this series of trades comes up, and he's taking the trade, and he's taking the trade, and he's taking the trade, you know, and I got stopped out, and I got stopped out, and I got stopped out. And oh, look at this one. Okay, all right. And you're journaling all of these along the way too. And then we go back and we look at it and we talk about it, you know, and you go, you know what? It really doesn't matter, Tony. It doesn't matter. You know what? Because I don't know what the next candle is going to bring. I'm thinking in probabilities based upon all of our setups and what our percentages are, you know. But I really don't know. And it really doesn't matter because I have no control. Once I enter the trade is entered. You know, I'm just waiting to see whether or not it's going to do what it tends to do based on previous results. Okay. But I'm not going to be results oriented. I'm going to be, you know, what are the numbers? Did that trade work out? That particular setup work out 50% of the time, 75% of the time, 80% of the time? What are those numbers? So I can take that same setup, those same numbers, the same methodology that I have, and transfer that over to the cash side when I'm trading real live money. Because until you can really do that, it's really hard to be consistent. It's easy to get some wins. You know, I think I was telling Stedman, I said, you know what, you can do everything right and lose money, and you can do everything wrong and get a win, you know, but we don't want to encourage that type of mentality because eventually it's going to catch up with you. And I know Miss Yolanda is trying to get to that house in Maui, so she's got to stay consistent on what she's doing. By the way, Yolanda, is that the house in Maui behind you?
Not quite, but I'm getting there. I'm leaving in 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
I'm leaving in 3 weeks to start looking.
All right. All right. Well, while you're over there, see if there's a place for a neighbor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
By the way, since I got you here, I know when we kind of went through the course there, you were working using pretty much picture strength, picture weakness in your setups. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Has it worked 100% of the time? I
would say yes.
Really? That's the wrong answer, Yolanda. You ain't supposed to say that. Well, you're supposed to say most of the time. Yeah, most of the time it does work.
Well, I mean, it works, you know. I just don't take the trade unless I see it. So,
man, I don't know.
Today, I earned 7,200% on what was it? Google? On a Google trade I took.
And that was from picture of strength or weakness?
Strength.
Picture of strength, huh?
Strength.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
If I hadn't been so busy at work, I would have caught the picture of strength as a weakness as it was coming down. But I was happy with 7,200%. So I
yeah, sound like you trading cryptos over there.
Yeah, I do that too.
Oh, do you?
Cryptos. I'm getting ready to start getting into NFTs now.
Nice.
Wow. Can I ask Miss Yolanda a question on that though? I know we need to stop asking questions.
No. I really. And also too, let's make this a give and take, not just me talking. So I want you guys to ask questions. So how you doing, Tanisha?
Hey, I'm good, and you, Mr. Tony.
Good, good.
Miss Yolanda,
Mhm.
did you swing Google, or you opened up out the gate from Google this morning?
Right out of the gate.
Oh my gosh.
Right out of the gate, because they didn't make the announcement about their earnings until after hours yesterday. So the market was already closed. But I mean, as I had it already set up, because I knew it was going to shoot up. And it did. It went up about 200 points in pre-market.
Google, or you opened up out the gate from Google this morning?
Right out of the gate.
Oh my gosh.
Right out of the gate, because they didn't make the announcement about their earnings until after hours yesterday. So the market was already closed. But I mean, as I had it already set up, because I knew it was going to shoot up. And it did. It went up about 200 points in pre-market. So I just literally caught the end of that, but like right out of the gate, you could see the picture of strength. So I was just like, let me hop in right at 9:30. I had my order already set to go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Denise.
So, Miss Yolanda, I know we talked about you told us about your FinViz and all that, but are you only doing like maybe 1 or 2 trades a day? Like, what's your thought process?
I was happy with 7,200%. So I went on.
Yeah, sound like you trading cryptos over there.
Yeah, I do that too.
Oh, do you?
Cryptos. I'm getting ready to start getting into NFTs now.
Nice.
Wow.
Can I ask Miss Yolanda a question on that though? I know we need to stop asking questions.
No. I really. And also too, let's make this a give and take, not just me talking. So I want you guys to ask questions. So how you doing, Tanisha?
Hey, I'm good, and you, Mr. Tony.
Good.
Miss Yolanda, did you swing Google, or you opened up out the gate from Google this morning?
Right out of the gate.
Oh my gosh.
Right out of the gate, because they didn't make the announcement about their earnings until after hours yesterday. So the market was already closed. But I mean, as I had it already set up, because I knew it was going to shoot up. And it did. It went up about 200 points in pre-market. So I just literally caught the end of that. But like right out of the gate, you could see the picture of strength. So I was just like, let me hop in right at 9:30. I had my order already set to go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Denise.
So, Miss Yolanda, I know we talked about you told us about your FinViz and all that, but are you only doing like maybe 1 or 2 trades a day? Like, what's your thought process, or what is your strategy when it comes to Pinterest trade? Because if you're hitting it 100%, I mean, hey.
Yes, we can all go home.
But that's because I don't take a lot of trades, right? I don't take a lot of trades because I trade from work. November 7th is my last day of working, though.
Really?
Retiring for a second time.
Wow. Okay.
Congratulations.
So I trade from work, and so I can't trade the way I would want to if I were home. But Google was just kind of a wild card. I typically trade the same stocks. The SPY, I trade Micron, Apple.
Okay. Sounds like you trade a lot of stocks. I know.
Yeah, whenever I do a trade on SPY, whatever I do on SPY, I do the opposite on UVXY and VXX.
Okay.
And then sometimes if I take a trade on SPY, I'll also take a trade on QQQ or TQQQ. But normally if I'm doing a trade on SPY, I'm automatically doing a trade opposite on VXX or UVXY. So I don't, I used to go all over FinViz and Tiblio looking for stocks to trade. Then I realized I can really just trade the same stocks over and over again. Like literally, like Micron, Mr. Tony, because of Mr. Tony, I trade Micron regularly. And so now I understand the behavior of the stock. So I just picture strength, picture weakness, bam, done.
And that's been the only setup that you've used?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The only thing I did add the Ripster EMA clouds, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are that whole combination there, like really, I don't see where I can have a bad trade.
Oh boy, you're scaring me, Miss Yolanda.
No, because I have
Got a
my
foolproof deal here.
I have my trading plan, and if it doesn't meet that criteria, it doesn't meet the criteria.
Great.
And I learned from when I was a young trader starting out, if I miss this trade, there's always another one.
There's gonna be another
Like
one.
literally, there's always another one.
There's gonna be some more money tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
They're gonna open up and
Yeah.
there'll be some more money out there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Miss
If
Yolanda,
I exit, then I just wait for the next one. I mean, if I miss my entry, I just wait for the next one.
Miss
Yes.
Yolanda, what did you say you added to it? I heard you said picture of strength, and then you said you added something, and I couldn't hear that part.
The Ripster EMA clouds.
Where
On
is that? Oh,
On
okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I tweaked the inputs. So the way that they have them set up, I don't use all of them. I only use one, but it pretty much runs with the 20 EMA. It actually is the 20 EMA. It's
Really?
just that it's a cloud. I'm 50, almost 56 years old, so I don't have my eyes as good as they used to be. So those clouds help me to see better the picture of strength and the picture of weakness. But that is a 20 EMA, really.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear about that.
Yeah, I told my friend, I asked her, I said, are you taking Mr. Tony's class? And she was like, no. She was like, why are you taking it? I said, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know everything. Like, so I feel like there's still more that I can learn. And so.
Well, I'm still trying to learn. Like I was saying, I'm trying to get to that next stage. I feel like, I'm still not there. And I wonder about why I haven't gotten to that part where I feel like I'm just in the flow of the market, almost kind of like that Matrix kind of Neo type feel, like I'm a part of it, which I've seen some guys, professional traders, that literally, I mean, they're there, they're there. Now the pressure's a little bit different, of course, but it's a great, and I know in my late 30s, early 40s, I probably had that energy and that focus where right now, I'm, as a, subjective
Age
trader.
yourself.
Yeah. I just, I feel like